Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome back to Mars, welcome back to Goldilocks, welcome back to For All Mankind. I'm Bankole, and today we're going to be looking ahead to this week's Season 5 return of Apple TV's For All Mankind. And joining me on this episode, forget about your slow horses, forget about your pluribus, your bad sisters, your severances. This is our OG podcasting show. So guys, they are the Bob to my Bob. It's Angel and Pete. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Happy to be back.
I was doing prep. It seems like you were here just last week, Angel, which you were, which I will talk about in a second. But I was doing prep for this and I realized I was like, this is actually the first time I podcasted with Angel, first time I podcasted with Pete. And obviously we've stayed very much in the Apple TV milieu in the years since. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this was actually the genesis. So glad to have you guys back for All Mankind Season 5. A lot has happened in 2 years.
Yeah, doesn't that seem like so long ago when we talked about the finale?
It does. I went back to listen to it and I was like, this is like, we're saying some quaint stuff in that episode. Like, I think we were like, oh, we hope Severus is back this year. This was 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like, because we're talking about, on the episode, we're talking about, oh, how like the strikes were only a few months ago. And I was like, oh my God, that's been so long. Lots has happened in 2 years. We're going to be previewing the upcoming season. Guys, in case somehow you don't know and you listen to this, which I don't know how that's possible, but it's coming out this week, March 27th, so on Apple TV as well. I would assume, I guess we'll confirm this when the first episode drops. I'll assume they'll do what they normally do, where it comes out like the Thursday night before at 9 p.m., really, and not really Friday morning, which is what they've been doing for like Severance and Pluribus and things like that. But I'm sure we'll find out as the season goes on. So quick things before we go on. We are still doing, somehow, our MCU 12 rundown, which is where we are talking about one MCU movie we've ranked them from 12 to 1, and we're going down one a month from January to December. Angel was on this month's episode, went all the way back to the beginning, talking about Iron Man. This is just great scheduling from me. I will take all the credit for this thing that was actually just by luck. But yeah, we're talking about Iron Man, which came out on number 10 on our list, so please check that out if you haven't already. We are going to be covering For All Mankind this season. We will definitely do the first 2 episodes weekly, and then maybe we'll do the rest of the season kind of fortnightly, unless you guys, the audience, make it clear that you want us to do it weekly. So you can just say it in the comments that you want us to come back weekly, and we will come back weekly because we are slaves to the engagement and the algorithm. So just let us know what you want and we will do that. We started our coverage of Invincible last week. We'll be covering that this season as well, and then we'll be back for The Boys' final season in April. So that's kind of everything on our end. Pete, what's your For All Mankind coverage looking like?
Yeah, it looks like mostly going to be doing it episode to episode. I mean, this is one of those shows that I really enjoy it. I really enjoy watching and have been pretty engaged with it since the second season, but it's one of those ones where there's not a lot of it's a bit niche, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
As far as like the conversation goes. So it's one of those things like where I will definitely be giving it my full attention, but I'm not sure that I have some other stuff going on and I'm looking for some other things to mix in there. So yeah, I think tentatively I'm going to be doing a week by week. There might be I might be doing a couple episodes together though.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing for us as well. Should we just go into this episode and talk about For All Mankind? I want to start with your feelings going into season 5, right? Anyone that wants to go back and listen to our season 4 finale thoughts, you're free to do that. Angel and I covered the entire season, or back half of the season, so we have thoughts on the finale, and then Pete came on to discuss like kind of the entire season with me as well. So those are on the feed, January 2024. I was kind of wondering, Pete, I'll start with you. I know you revisited season 4 ahead of this season. Like, have any of your feelings changed about the season, or are they just calcified over time?
Yeah, there were a few of the storylines I was less engaged with, and I guess I don't know that it's really changed, except like I guess I think about it more of like how does this how, more than anything at this point with this show, I wonder like what the end game is. I
Mm,
feel like we're getting towards that. So when I think about the like I guess like Miles, right? Miles was a big introduction in the last season, and everything about that is seems okay to me. You know what I mean? Like I like the idea that we focus on regular people who are trying to he
make a living?
yeah, like make a living and trying to get ahead because of this big windfall that the space travel can maybe provide. But at the same time, I don't know, it seems a little bit more the stakes seem a little bit lower in a way.
Mm.
So I was just I guess like, when I think about it now, I think, well, that's fine because I think this is all feeding into where we're going eventually. You know what I mean? So
Where do you think that is?
well, I think that it's got to come down to we're probably gonna well, I think like what we're seeing here with the trailer and everything else is like Mars is going to become a separate entity, right?
Mhm,
Like there's I guess one of the things I keep going back to is like who am I in support of in this show right at the moment? You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, like you knew which side you wanted to see the original characters, you wanted to see them succeed.
mhm.
And like at the end of last season, I was like, well, do am I for Dev? Like, am I for the millionaire guy, billionaire, trillion? You know what I mean? Like, I like the character, but but do I want to see him win? Do I want to see NASA? No one that we really care about's at NASA anymore. Like, do we want to see NASA? Um, it's mankind, right? Like, we want mankind to become elevated in some way, and I think that that happens probably by breaking away from Earth, and then I guess the next natural step would be to discover life and maybe make contact with something bigger than us.
So you think we're gonna go hard sci-fi, like aliens and stuff?
I don't know if we're going to actually experience that, but I feel like yeah, a next step. Um,
Mm. Okay, you mentioned some things that I'm gonna touch on because I have a hot take coming on later. Angel, because like I went back to listen to our episode on the finale, on season 4 finale, and you were a lot like you were a lot higher on the episode than I was. Um, so I guess going into this season, where's your? Because again, you had binged the first 3 as well,
Yeah.
right? And you were going into 4. So like, where's your headspace going into this new season?
I feel like at that time, I was very hype off the train of, binging the whole thing.
Binging,
Like, I was just
yeah.
very happy for them to win at the end of the season. But I find when I think about that season now, well, first of all, it's been so long. So it's like I am so detached. Like, I'm excited for it to come back. Don't get me wrong. So excited to get back into it. But like people were saying, I don't know who I'm rooting for anymore at this point.
Mhm.
Like, it's definitely the people of Mars versus some government officials on Earth, which, per the trailer, seems to be becoming the people of Mars versus the people of Earth, because obviously people don't want to keep spending their hard-earned taxes on things that they can't see benefit them. Which fair enough. And the people of Mars don't want to go back to Earth either. So, fair enough. So I'm excited to see how they handle that. Because you know how they pick one big thing every season to like, fight for. And I guess this season's fights will be Mars versus Earth. Um, and I think also I was just thinking about it now and I was like, Ed is really like maybe Kelly. I really like the only people left, maybe Margot, but she's in
Alida.
prison. I'm not trying to add like, okay, I'll put Alida in that group. Yeah. I'll try
You
to stay
put
away from
Kelly
like,
before Alida?
I mean, Kelly's Ed's child, but Alida is in that group. She's been there from the start, actually. Alida, definitely. They're like the only ones left from the
Mm,
OG cast, everybody's gone or dead. And so I just don't know. I mean, I can see Ed trying to secure his legacy. I know I felt that a lot at the end of the season, just like he's
last
just
season,
doing
yeah.
things because he wants to put his name on Mars or put his name
Hmm.
somewhere. And I'm like, you're already super accomplished. Like, why are we doing these things? But anyways, I digress. Um, so I guess I'm just keen to see how they handle that. Like with Miles and Dev, I have all these new characters to care for. Um, and I don't think I care about them as much yet. So I think I'm looking forward to that, to maybe seeing how I feel about the
Mm,
characters going into this new season, having had this time away. Like, will I still feel that? Will I whoop whoop? Like, I feel like at the end of every season, I'm usually very much on the, oh my God, my team.
yeah.
And at the end of last season, I was happy, oh my God, my team. But I'm just like, who's my team actually? Like, even on
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
Mars, there's
exactly.
different factions.
Hmm.
There's so many things to consider. So also keen to see how that plays out in this new season. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess excited.
Dev came in season 3, right? Not 2.
Yeah,
Season
yeah.
3. Um, so we're going to talk about the trailer in this episode in a bit. So I'll say when we're going to, in case anyone is avoiding watching the trailers, you'll know when to stop listening. But before then, so I kind of picked up some things because I rewatched only the last episodes of last season. I couldn't watch the entire thing. Um, but I also kind of knew where my headspace was. I still remembered it because it was like I had binged the first 3, loved the first 3, which is actually interesting because I remember Pete, you had binged the first 2, I think, and the third one was the first one you watched weekly, or was it?
No,
Or did you?
I covered the second one.
Oh,
I
you covered the second one.
Yeah,
Okay, because I know you didn't love the third season,
not as
but
much.
yeah, but I remember everything was all in like the binge blur for me, like the first 3 seasons. But then watching 4, I did feel a bit, and I don't think it's just because I binged it. I think there's some things in 4 that are markedly different. Like it takes a more
Mm-hmm.
focused view on the
The
normal
people.
people, quote unquote, workers. It's telling a different side of story, which will lead to my hot take in a second. But anyway, I rewatched the last 2 episodes of season 4, and I brought up some things that I forgot, and then we can use that to just discuss, or we can just skate by them. That doesn't matter. I forgot that Kelly has a son.
Probably
Which,
important.
Very, very.
yes,
Danny
which
Danny Stevens has a daughter too.
I like,
I
was
forgot
she in?
that. I forgot that at first until
Oh yes, I remember
I
now.
was
The
looking at
birthday
some of the
party.
casting and stuff. The birthday party,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Was it Danny was at us or that birthday party? I remember that now. Yeah. Oh, Danny Stevens is just
Will she
undoubtedly the worst
resurface?
character the show has ever done.
Did you say
Like
the worst?
the worst character. The Stevens children are like I think the first 3 seasons are pretty unassailable in terms of storylines, except anything that has to do with Danny.
Yeah. He was
Like
sort of the rough
Danny
spot.
was a
yeah,
hot mess. Oh my God.
the Danny and Kelly thing, was that season 2? Or was
Danny
that
and
was 2 or 3?
Danny and who?
Not Kelly,
No,
sorry, not
not
Kelly.
was Karen.
Karen, yeah,
Yeah, I
Yes.
was like, when did he get with Kelly too? I was
I
like,
got my
wait till.
kids mixed up. With Karen, that was just like the show. We're just like, what are you doing? Like,
No,
I was
literally,
like,
like,
why are
what's
you doing
happening
this?
Yeah,
here?
you guys missed that in real time. There was real meltdowns in that when that
Yeah, I
when
That
that
makes
happened.
sense.
understand.
Like
That
there
Because
was
tracks.
what line are you taking here? Like, what's going on?
fans weren't really that mixed on it. It was pretty universally
That makes
What the
sense.
hell?
That makes sense because it was one of those things where like the show
upsetting to
was
people.
just on a heater. Everything was just working. Every storyline was great. And then they did this, and I was like, wait, how are you? Anyway, so yes, Kelly has a son, Danny has a daughter, which you just mentioned. I had to think like I had forgotten who the father was. And I was
Yeah,
thinking, I was like, oh, then I
it's
remembered.
the
I was like, oh
The
yeah,
Russian,
it's
astronaut,
the
cosmonaut.
the Rus
astronaut.
cosmonaut.
Um,
Yes.
I forgot that Miles survived torture like a champ. Like
Yeah,
he
he ate that.
he held it down.
He
Yes.
did.
I was like, I forgot that. I forgot that he did his thing. I forgot that Sergey got popped while eating McDonald's. Like he
Mm.
died while might
Very
that be
tough
his
one.
last meal?
While
Very tough
Margot
one.
was sitting there looking at the
Dreaming.
Brazilian
Impressive.
space program, eating her burger, and they're just thinking about what a life they might be able to
Uh,
have.
Irina is a bad girl.
Yeah, well, she got her comeuppance. Speaking of, I should say that now. For anyone who doesn't know, there's gonna be a Star City spin-off, which I think is later. I think immediately this show ends, I think they'll probably start Star City season 1. We probably won't cover that because sleep. But yeah, so Star City is gonna be. Are they, Pete? Are they tracking like the Russian space program from 1969 or?
I'm not 100%. All I've seen so far are just photos, like still
Yeah,
photos, and it's
'cause
not it's not that long in the past. Like it's not
yeah.
like from the moon. They're landing on the moon, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know they've cast somebody as a younger Irina, so they're definitely going
Mm.
back in time a bit, and I'm sure there'll be younger Sergei and things like that. Um, or maybe, yeah. So anyway, but that was just
Reese
so. Yeah,
Ilfans from Ilf. How do you say his last name? I'm probably
I
saying that
think I think
wrong.
I think that's the reference. Is he in the show?
Yeah, he's one of the lead
Oh,
characters,
oh,
lead
okay,
actors.
okay. For anyone who doesn't know, that's Otto Hightower from House of the
Hmm.
Dragon. Um, or the Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man films, depending on what fandom you're in. Um, I didn't forget this because I couldn't, but I had to put in my notes. There was an asteroid heist. I remember when I think Asha, was it 7 or 8 when Dev is like, "Do you want to steal an asteroid
Episode
with me?"
7, yeah, it had the
Yeah.
big
And
needle
then
drop at the
the
end.
ex gonna give it to you, needle drop his
Beautiful.
family.
I was like, oh, my soul back.
Probably the singular best thing the show has ever done. So yeah, I have this, which I don't know if it's explained in the trailer because I haven't watched the trailer, but we'll see. Is like question is like, how did they not all go to jail? I still don't understand it. I don't know how that happened. Like they, this is treason, I think,
Who's
or at the
gonna go all
very
the way to
least
Mars to
theft.
arrest them?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, they are deputies on Mars.
Yeah, but like, who's gonna
The
do that?
CIA is on Mars.
Yeah, but
they
they wanted the asteroid from Mars.
yeah, I guess, like, the only real way you can even try to wrap your head around it is if you think about water, like, like ships on the ocean in
Hmm.
international waters or
International
something like
waters.
that. So, it's definitely, like, pirate activity, but,
Hmm.
um, I'm not really sure, like, I mean, obviously, they're not I don't think that any of them are going to jail. As far like I said, I understand why you think that they should and how that's hard. Like I'm with you on that, but like I don't think I don't think the show really works if that happens. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like Margot definitely they took her away at the end of the season. She's gonna have to pay the price for um, they were pretty upset about her defection. She seems to be someone who's going to have to pay for she's in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, her crimes were on Earth.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Okay, so my final thing, which is just, I think it kind of it encapsulates kind of the, this word seems harsh, but not really. The unseriousness of the season, and it's the fact that like they smuggled people not only out of North Korea but
Thank you so
onto
much.
Mars. And it's
Thank
just
you.
like,
That was exactly what I was gonna say. That North Korea storyline. I was just like, what? What are we doing here?
there's just really no way we can like, because like
To
it's one
Mars?
thing to say if you're smuggling him out of Tennessee to Mars, well, already like that's already difficult, but out of North Korea,
Yeah.
like people can't leave North Korea into on Earth and they're moving them to Mars. Like I think, yeah, we've discussed this, and I'm sure like we're laughing about it all season, thinking it was like a joke, and then it happens in the finale, and we're like,
No, literally,
what?
we're like, there's just no way, like, they're bringing, like, he's so funny.
But
What?
also they are good storytellers because they did all the cheats. They made the score rise. They made the actors hug each other, so we felt emotionally invested. We're like, this makes no sense, but it's working for us in this
Family
moment.
reunification.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really where I land on this stuff with the show. Like it's comfort food, right? It's like um I guess there was a time when I thought that it might really transcend that and become like, a real bona fide classic TV show that everyone talked about but it I think we could say now this far into it that it's not necessarily that, but I still love it and it for what it is, it's very good.
so you think it's dropped off the prestige perch?
Well, I mean, and maybe that we just sort of put it there when it didn't really fit in that
Mm.
category in the first place, you know what I mean?
Honestly, no, I think it did, especially with the ridiculous subject matter it's handling from the start. What if, Russia landed first? Like, who was sitting down and thought of this, But despite that happening, great stories, beautiful cinematography, great characters. Like, they had B with a big budget. They came in with a bang those first couple of seasons. I was like, oh, this is good food. Like, I was literally telling everybody at their dad, go watch For All Mankind. I know it's an hour plus long. I know you don't care about space race, but just once you start, you get it. Like, it's so good. And then season
Yeah.
4, I'm like, where are we going with this?
I mean,
Um, not. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just like, where are we going with this? We're taking some liberties here. That I'm
yeah, and then
like,
Mhm.
I agree
it's
with both of you. I think maybe I'm a bit like, I don't know if it's prestige for sure, but I don't want to kind of throw it to the dogs just yet. And I know that's not what you're doing, Pete. I know you just say that maybe it's not
Yeah,
as good as we thought it
I'm saying
was.
that as a fan, like someone who
Yeah.
enjoys it. Like I think that there's a lot of nostalgia, at least from someone like me who grew up in my situation. Like the space race is a cheat for us, you know what I mean? Because
Mm.
that's like, if you really think about it, like that's the last good thing that the country that I came from kind of did, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's crazy. Yeah.
I
and that
can't.
was a long time ago, but it was that was like, that was the thing. And that really is the magic of the premise is that even though everything that's in the world right now it says like human beings are hell bent on destroying everything and they're going to endlessly be fighting and trying to dominate each other and everything else. There was a time whenever, you know, it was just the competition between these two different civilizations that were trying to solve this problem that like some actual good stuff came out of it, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, look, I think we're unanimous in agreeing that like season 4, there's some things that it did where kind of they lost the tightness of. I was thinking about. I was doing some research for this episode, and then I was thinking about the High Bob episode. That was the episode where
Yeah,
Gordo,
they're
Ed,
losing
and
it. Yeah.
yeah, are all stuck together. So I went to research the episode, and then I found out that that was the same episode that Shane dies. All of
Oh,
that was in. Like, I genuinely thought they were like episodes apart. So like the fact that they were writing that in the same is that's premium storytelling. Like to have
Yeah.
the high Bob section on Mars or on the moon, which they were in at the point, and to have what was
Yeah.
going on Earth in the
Ah.
episode in the same episode.
yeah.
That's season 1. That's
It
season 1,
was
episode 7.
no, they were when I say they were cooking, like, I don't know who was in that room in that first season, especially, like, they were I don't know, they said, "We're gonna give you guys something, like, you're gonna eat it up." Okay,
Yeah,
you're gonna
I've
enjoy
always
it.
said that. Yeah, I've always said that it's the one show that I think I have felt while watching. I was like, oh, you've taken a jump within the season, like within. I
Mhm.
think once they do Nixon's Women, which I think is maybe 4 or 5 or something like that, like
Mhm.
halfway through the season, like you just feel like the show take, and that's rare. Shows take
Yeah.
steps up in between seasons, not
Yeah.
in the middle of the season. And then obviously all the way up to the season 2 finale with Gordo and Trey. Like all of that is
Oh
just
God.
excellent stuff.
Yeah.
I
So
think about that sometimes. I'm just like, wow, cinema.
yeah. So I have no problem like still recommending the show. I still think I
Onward.
maybe I mean I think where would I place it in the Apple? Like I don't love Silo as much as everybody else, so I still think I have this above Silo. And like the Apple TV sci-fi thing. Again, I'm just really hoping that like even I just hope season 5, even if it gets to like the highs of season 3, I don't really think it's gonna get to season 2 levels. But I was thinking about The Crown a lot while preparing for this, and I think I love the first 4 seasons of The Crown. Love.
Mm.
The last 2, I don't love I like, right? But I don't think the quality of the show dropped itself. Like I think the writing is still good, I think the acting is still good, whatever. But I think for me personally, the closer it got to the present day, I I don't know if it's a lost interest or but like when they
Yeah.
started telling stories that I already knew about, like I knew things about Diana and things like that, it became less. I don't know what the word is. I can't think of the word, but like
You're
when it
just
was
less
in the
curious
50s and
about it.
60s, yeah, I was like, this is all new to me. This is like,
Yeah.
but the closer I got to present day, I lost kind of interest. Maybe interest is the right way to put it.
I
And I was thinking about
literally
that.
have not watched season 5 and 6 as well. Like,
Yes. And I was thinking about that for one month, and I was like, I'm afraid now that we're getting closer and closer to like to present
I
day.
haven't, and they're going to pass us.
There, I mean, that's the. I think they always said 7 seasons was their aim. I think.
Yeah, they're going to pass us.
Um.
Mm.
So I guess
And
okay.
my real tease will Ed be alive.
Well, I mean, he's still alive. I was.
He refuses to
Oh,
die, so
he's,
here we are.
okay, so I guess what I want to ask is like to you guys, is there anything that you think it has been? We've kind of discussed this a bit already, but like what's been missing in the previous seasons that we need to get back to get to the highs of seasons 1 to 3? Even like even for example, someone like Pete, you don't think three is as great as 1 and 2, which I think we can all agree on. But like
Mhm.
we still think three is pretty good. So like, is there anything that I mean, there's the obvious thing in which season 4 we are missing a lot of the characters that we had grown to love, like
Mm.
Karen, Molly, Bill, Ellen. Like that's a lot. That's like a lot of characters to just lose. And maybe this season is when they'll make us like. I mean, I think by the end of the season we like Dale a bit, but like maybe now we can actually love Dale, or maybe we can actually like or love Samantha. I don't know. But like last season kind of I think suffered from not having those characters. Is there anything else that you guys
Yeah,
are
like
like,
people not caring about these people.
yeah. Is
Like,
there
not
anything else that you
enough.
pinpointed like we need to get us back in terms of maybe storytelling, the way they're writing
I
it,
need the
the
storylines to be
themes
tighter. We can't be
tighter?
having things like smuggling North Koreans in. Like, I just don't care about that. Like,
So we can't strain credulity. Let's let
yeah,
everything make sense.
let's
Let everything
not.
be clear.
Even if it means 40-something minute episodes, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, I can't like we're also talking about like the people were joking in season 3 about North Korea getting there first. Um, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there was like yeah, there was a couple of times in the last couple of seasons where people joked about something throughout the entire season, and then it turned out to
It
be
happened.
a real
Yeah.
thing that happened on the show. That's not good. That's not a good sign. But at the same time, like, what would it take to get it back there? Like I said, I don't know. I feel like the trick the thing that would be impressive to me is if they could find a way where humanity is so right now just so sort of like atomized and just not all of the same mind of like where things should be going. Like if they could find a way to say like, okay, this is an alternate timeline show, these things happen, the space race continued, we kept going, and this is how this world became better as a result of that. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
I okay. So this leads me to my hot take. Uh, I know why they do it, and I applaud them for doing it. But I think the show needs to leave the normal working man alone and just focus on the astronauts. Focus on your elite class, like doing space shit. Because I think the show has been its weakest every time it's tried to show how this is affecting the normal man. Like I think of Jimmy Stevens and his conspiracy theorist friends. I think that was a weak storyline. I think of the class warfare
Can't
on
even
Mars in
lost
season
car into
4.
that.
Lost,
Jesus.
again, I know why it's important to tell the class warfare storyline. I just don't think the execution. So I think maybe the show needs to just stay in the upstairs section and just stay with like astronauts beefing between Russia and America. I don't know.
You know, I was going to say for me, I think they need to not return back to Earth, but I think the stories really worked for me when they were on Earth. And I just realized it's because the focus was entirely on the astronauts at that point.
Hmm.
Like, we didn't give it all about anybody but the astronauts and their family. And I was so locked into that. Their highs, their lows, all of it. And I'm realizing it was because we were focusing on the astronauts. Like, I love that they tried to tackle, the everyday man story, but I feel like that should be an episode or two, not the whole season.
Last season.
Like, it's like
I-
so much of last season, me trying to get into Miles, I was just like, I'm like, I want to buy into him like you have. I thought he was going to die. He didn't die. I'm like, okay, so he's here to stay. But like, why are you throwing this man at me? Like, I don't
and
care.
we sound very bourgeoisie, right? I don't worry, guys. We are for the proletaires. It's just like in terms of this show. I don't know. I mean, Pete, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, it really changes the stakes. It takes it from like you said, like these people who are doing things that you can never imagine doing yourself.
Mhm.
Ellen catching the
Oof.
can and all of that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff that like really makes you feel connected to other human beings in a way that we get that from from the like from Miles's life and the struggles he has, but we have them too. So it's just sort of like we get a different kind of feeling. It's not
Yeah.
awe for like how amazing human beings are. It's just like, yeah, we're all the same. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said, I hope that this is just foundational for the next thing that's
Yeah.
going to happen
Next batch. Yeah.
more than like this does become a show about working a 9 to
Like a
5 on
transition
Mars.
season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like you
He's
think
not
about
working
like
the
a
9 to
show
5.
like
That's so
you think
true.
about like a movie like Alien, right? Like part of the charm is that's regular people doing their job, but everything gets changed really quickly by this supernatural kind of force that
Mhm.
comes in there. So we need something other than just Mars as far as the fledgling community.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like what you said about like, yeah, I mean, we need to kind of see these characters as heroes, as
Mm-hmm.
like, and I think it enables because sometimes I had a friend, the only other friend I had who watched the show for a while, Ayo, who did industry with me, and he didn't. I don't know if that's changed, but at the time he didn't love Molly as a character, right? He was just like, she's not really a character, she's just cool. And I was like, yes, she's just cool. That's enough. That's the full stop. like, I was like, but that's the like for those characters, we can kind of get away with someone just being like the entire character is that they're cool
They're cool.
because
Yeah.
we're kind of it's a wish fulfillment. But then if you want to tell a real story, then you kind of need to do a lot more work. And
Yeah, it's true.
it's more boring. It's like I want to see these characters catch things in space, not figure out
Yeah.
strikes and like and do
And
Oh
drills.
God.
No.
Oh, be petulant because you don't want to go back to Earth. Like,
And here,
Yeah.
please.
here's the prime example too, because every season ends with that some
Mhm.
giant space moment with the same piece of music, the same score, the
I
whole
think I know where you're going with
thing
this.
like building up, and like the one this season, it was Palmer and I
Sam.
can't even remember her name, Sam. You know,
That's the problem.
yeah,
I get
Right
what
there.
you mean. Yeah, people we don't care about. Yeah.
right. And so like that was impressive, but I wasn't even 100%. I remember we talked about this when we had our conversation. It wasn't even 100. It's not, you can't even really say why Sam is there doing that
Mm-hmm.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
not really.
Yeah.
Not like, like I guess in season 3, the big thing is Kelly, making that
Yeah.
crazy
And
thing.
Eddie
Her
Yeah.
died.
father that's been there since the beginning is there flying the, you know what I mean? Like it's completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully, like, look, they might. I didn't even expect Miles Dale to be in this new season, but then I saw a picture and I was like, "Oh wait, you're in
Yeah.
this new season." So like
He's
maybe he appears in
important.
in episode 1, and we're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, we're fucking back." Like we love him now. That's how TV works. Like it's
Yeah.
just like when you like. So maybe we need not a rough season to kind of get on board. We'll see. But I do think like it's just kind of focus on the space shit, man. Focus on the things that we can't imagine.
So
Like
what would be the what like so what would you be looking for? Like what do you want to see? You want to see them go? Because I mean, if you think about exploration of the solar system in a sci-fi, kind of way, like the next step is the moons of the gas giants.
So I don't, because obviously this is not even my realm. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
know stay in space. Like, don't take Earth problems onto Mars.
Right.
Do
Right.
Mars problems on Mars. Like,
I don't want to see aliens.
okay, that's interesting. Yeah, you draw your hard line there.
Well,
No, I think sure in the sci-fi exploration, but then I feel like once I see aliens on the show, it becomes something else entirely. Like this we've left the not the realm of possibility. Like these things are the realm of possibility, but impossibility. Once you
Yeah,
get into
if things had
aliens, it's like
happened differently.
yeah.
nah. Now we're talking about Star Wars. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Well,
Do
I
you believe
think
in
that
aliens, Angel?
Duh.
Oh, so it's possible. So why
Yeah,
did you
but
watch on
like
the
I
show?
can't conceptualize an alien. Like, and you
Okay,
can't. They can now go and tell me that this is the alien they found on Mars. I'm not gonna eat
fair.
that.
Okay.
I think that it's more likely that they'll discover life that is not
Yeah, like
Okay,
maybe
so like
sentient.
biological
bacteria.
life. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly. Kelly's really gung ho about that, so they
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely will
That
keep
they've
pushing
seen.
that
That I'll
plot.
be on board with, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Um,
it's just a question of like how does that really change things? Because I feel like that's the thing. Because I think I think we've made some pretty I think we made some good arguments to why things are, why the last couple of seasons didn't hit like the first ones. Another thing
Mm-hmm.
that I see other people say is that they expected this to be a world that is going to be like the precursor of Star Trek, where society advances and things get
like
better, but
like
it's
flying
still,
cars and stuff.
yeah. So like, so I think I've seen people complain that like, well, it's just the same problems that we're having in our regular timeline.
Mhm.
It's just moving it around. And
Yeah.
so I guess, yeah, like that's the thing. Like I wonder if it will be for all mankind, like we will make that next
Yeah.
giant leap into something.
Yeah, because we actually discussed this last season where I was like, have we seen the normal and I know I'm saying I don't see normal people. Have you seen the normal person's life changed by this deviation in the space race? Like,
Yeah.
are they flying cars? Just as a simple
Mm-mm.
thing. Are microwaves faster? Like, what has changed? Or is it
No.
just that NASA is? We haven't seen that, and it's like, I,
Yeah.
and look, there is a story. I don't think that's what the show is telling, but there's a story of like, no matter what happens in space, whatever, like humans will still be humans and
Yeah,
governments will still be
I feel like
governments.
that's what they're doing. Like they're trying to connect the relatability of,
Yeah, but then
this may be the space race, but we're humans.
this show was always, and we use this word a lot when we're covering last season. The show was always very optimistic,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Quite.
and which is why season 4 was a tough one. Like it was always like, this is what humanity can do. This is the extent of our West will always fight, and there might be
Yeah.
gunshots on the moon. Sorry, excuse me, but like,
Mm.
if we all put our heads together, this is how far we can go, right? So, and I think there was always so a bit of wish fulfillment there,
Yeah, and I
and
also, one of the things, because we were talking about what we picked up on rewatching, one of the things I came up with was that this idea that capturing the asteroid and taking it to Earth was somehow going to make things better. Like, they
Yeah,
never really made
like
a great case for how
No,
that would
I think
actually
their
work. Like,
case
was every
was it's cheaper. That was
yeah,
their case. It's cheaper.
was everyone gonna get a, asteroid check? You know what I mean? Like, once they
like,
started mining it, like, it was just all human beings get a check at the end of the month
eh,
for the dividend
yeah.
on the
And you know that's
asteroid.
not the case because see how they're treating the workers on Mars anyway. Like
Which is why
it's certainly not.
this is it's a weird thing because I'm someone who always applauds intention in storytelling. I just like I know why they wanted to tell that story, and I like the fact that they wanted to tell that story. I just don't think it works. I think it makes sense to be like when we take humanity, Americans, Russians into Mars, all they do is replicate the systems that they are used to here on
Mhm.
Earth, and people are still
Yeah.
suffering. Or they say that NASA is only focused on this thing, even though, and they are making these lies that it would help people, even though we know it won't. So I like that storyline, but I'm also just like, maybe this is not the show for it. Maybe you guys don't have the juice like that. Maybe we should just focus on like people catching stuff
Focus on the
in
wow.
space.
Space.
Where's
Yeah.
my wow? Where's my wow? I remember
So
that
like,
Yeah.
first time, like when that rocket took off, I said, "Whoa!"
yeah, it's like let me see back it all, and not like maybe you're not the Karl Marx show. Maybe that's all I'm saying. Like so, but again, I would always applaud the intention. I would rather you do
Oh
that
yeah,
than you just keep on replicating the
ignore
same
it.
formulas.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but let's see what happens in in this new season. Before as we wrap up, let's talk about the trailer. So I haven't watched the trailer intentionally because I try not to watch trailers of shows I'm covering because next thing you know, there's a character that is in a life or death situation, and I'm like, oh no, I've seen him in this scene in this trailer, so he's not dead. So I get too much in my head, so I try to avoid watching trailers of shows I'm covering. But
shout out to
I know you guys have
ADHD.
seen. I know you guys have seen the trailer, so we can
Mhm.
discuss if there's anything you want to pick out. Something I did notice in the casting is that Muriel Enos is in this new season, who has now been in 3 shows with Joe Kinnaman. They were on The Killing together, they were on
Mm.
Hannah together, and now they're so I guess this is talk about a working
There's a
husband.
duo.
Yeah, I don't know if have people been on I don't think I know any couple that has been on, like, the same show multiple times. Couple as in 2 people. But yeah,
Um,
I'm intrigued to see her this new season. She was most recently in a flashback on Task last year. Okay,
Another great show.
and another great show. Any thoughts you want to discuss on this new season? And while you think about that, I'm going to ask you a question. Obviously, every new premiere, the show jumps forward to be like 10 years since the last premiere. We kind of
Mhm.
get this new things that have changed in the story in versus our real world. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. We are starting in 2013, I believe, this new season.
2012.
2012? Okay. Did Obama become president? Did he win in 2008? What do you guys think?
The way things are going, we've already had a
Is there
gay
even an Obama?
president. That's what I'm thinking. Like we've had a woman gay. Um,
So you think progress has already happened and we didn't need
yeah,
Obama anymore?
I'm honestly the race relations aren't that deep on the show. So I don't know if that's reflective of the society America is at that time, or it's just like they're not caring about these things at NASA.
I
But
mean, that's a good point. We should mention that, like, I think that's one thing the show has tried to show has become different, and like things like as in we have
like they're still very
a gay
sexist,
female
but you know,
president by 2000 and what 2001? No, earlier
yeah,
in the 90s,
very very
wasn't she?
early, yeah.
So I think that's one way they've tried to show that, and
She
obviously
was a
Nixon bringing the
Republican
women.
too,
So yeah,
which
Yeah,
yeah, that's
like
true.
really
I'm not saying they've gone
dumps
all the way.
No, but like that's a big thing that the show has at least
Yeah,
said. At least probably America, maybe as a whole, isn't
has
different, but at least
accepted.
the
Yeah.
legislation came in a lot earlier. Um,
so
when I think Al Gore is president in season 4.
yeah, I was
Yes.
trying to think of that because I know Gore is who the Lee Iacocca guy is talking to. The what's the guy's name who takes over NASA to run it like a business?
Oh, I can't remember his name, but yeah, Marv from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Don't kill me.
I was like, Leah Coca was in this show, and then like, I was sorry, I was so confused. No, but yeah, no, Gore is president. Gore is president in season 4 for
Yeah.
sure. He's in
Yeah,
some
he
reels.
is.
So if he's president, Uh, that means Bush is not president. So maybe we get Republican in 2008. So McCain is
It's
president.
it's
Well,
giving. I mean,
well,
I know, but I guess I don't know if you want to find out.
Oh, it's in
trailer.
the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay
in the
then.
trailer. Yeah.
Okay then. Don't say anything. I'll find out when I watch the when
That's
I
what I
watch
was
the show.
doing the same thing Angel was doing. I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
going, well, we just watched it like a
Oh man,
few
that would
seconds
have been.
ago,
I
so
thought
we
that was gonna
know.
be like a fun question for us to like debate about. I didn't know you
Dissect.
guys. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
in. Why is it in the trailer? Oh, why is that in trailer? Anyway, okay. I guess we'll find out if Obama exists in For All Mankind universe. Maybe Michelle is the president. Okay, is there anything from the trailer you want to like talk about, or not talk about, but
I
like you're excited about?
I don't know Kelly's son's name, and per the trailer, like we're discussing, he is
Is
important.
important?
Um, what's his name?
I can't remember. How old is he? He'll be like what, 13? He'll be early
Yeah,
teens.
he's grown. Yeah.
Was it Alex? Is that
Yeah, I
his
think
name?
so. That sounds correct. Alex sounds correct.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
I mean, like I said, I forgot to even had a son. So,
Yeah.
but Alex
He
does sound correct.
Yeah, it's Alex. Yeah.
um as far as the trailer, do either of you guys have you seen The Expanse?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Well, if you had it does have some Expanse vibes. The Expanse was a
Mm.
show where in a book series where um Mars played a big, the relationship between Earth and Mars was a big part of that. So, people who are
Hmm.
familiar with it will know what I'm talking about.
I should actually say that's a good segue. If you're new to For Mankind coverage, don't come for me. I'm not like a sci-fi diehard. I'm a TV diehard. I'm a film diehard. We'll cover this, but I don't know. Like, I don't know all the sci-fi lore. So, like, don't be like, how don't you know this? They reference this in Star Trek episode 5, season 2. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Me either. I'm so
We'll talk
sorry.
about this show, but I don't
Yeah.
know all the lore. So I'm just saying that now. But yeah, the Expanse, is it, people have theory that this was a prequel to, is it The Expanse or Star Trek? I
Both,
know it's a
but
Star Trek world, but like people like it's an
yeah,
actual prequel to The
because
Expanse, right?
Ronald D. Moore, the guy who's the co-creator, he wrote for Star
The
Trek.
Expanse. Oh, Star Trek.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
not the original one, but the
Yeah,
Next Generation,
next
the
gen.
second big one.
Hmm.
And
Um,
that's where he started his career. And The Expanse is just that's what people talk about it being a prequel, because in the Expanse universe, Mars was colonized and then they broke away to be an independent faction.
fair. Okay. Any other thing from the
Interesting.
trailer that you want to highlight?
Yeah,
Any
like it.
character that you're surprised came back?
Well, like you said, I was a little bit surprised to see that everyone was walking around and not in prison,
Not,
not in
yeah,
like federal prison for stealing the asteroid. But
asteroid.
I don't know that it actually explains what's going on with that. Like, there's some stuff there that, I mean, it's all leading towards conflict between Earth and Mars. Let's just say that.
1,000%.
Yeah. Okay. Like we said, I just kind of hope it stays being fun space stuff, right?
I want
And
the
not,
magic.
yeah, not the awe, on the I can't believe
Y-
you did that kind of thing. Not,
Yeah,
yeah,
they.
no.
I think Margot kind of said it out loud last season. She said progress is never free. So I think that's part of the idea that they had going into that season, is that they had to
Mm.
lay the groundwork for what the sort of like the nuts and bolts of building a new society, which is
Hmm.
not that sexy and not that exciting.
Yeah. Like it
Yeah.
has
But
its downsides.
hopefully they'll go back to more of this, like, for all mankind, this next great leap in humanity that we can
Hmm.
all. Because I mean, like, I don't know, I feel like the farther you go out and landing on like something new is just there's the diminishing return, right? If they land
Yeah.
on one of like Jupiter's moons or something this time around, it's not really going to feel the same way as the moon or then Mars, you know what I mean? So like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's time for it to become something.
Mm-hmm.
The next part of whatever they're going for, I think.
It's time for it to become something. That seems like a great place to end this
Yeah.
episode. Like I said, we'll be back on Friday to discuss the first episode, season 5, episode 1, and then back next week for episode 2. And then after then, depending on what you guys want, we might come back every week or come back fortnightly. Please, if you're listening and you enjoyed this coverage, this episode, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Please rate and review on whatever audio platform you're listening on. And
One
again,
can I have
yeah,
one last
of
butt
course,
in?
yeah.
Do you expect everyone to survive? Like these guys are getting pretty old now, the original.
I
I,
need
Like
Ed to die this season.
he has
Okay.
to. He has to at some point,
I was
doesn't
like, I
he?
wouldn't
Yeah.
have accepted it between seasons death, but he can't
Yeah.
make it to season 6. I'm so sorry. At that point, who is he?
yeah. I
And
feel
now
like
let's
that's
not make Bionic Man. Let's make
No,
him a
basically,
cyborg.
basically, maybe they stream his consciousness because he has far too much knowledge. I don't know, but his physical body got to go.
Yeah, I think he has to die this season.
Yeah.
and the
I mean,
other
even
thing is
Margot
like
is close.
how will they have Danielle be involved anymore? Because I feel like her
Yeah.
time on Mars is over after the way it ended.
Well, is she in the trailer?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so there's a good chance that she's not in this season.
Yeah.
She's such an important character though. So
Ellen wasn't in last season.
that's true.
At least they're still alive.
To explain why she's on Paradise, she needed work. It's like,
Please don't
I
kill
wouldn't be
me.
surprised if she's not in this season. I mean, I obviously at one time this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's not in this season.
Seeing her on Paradise blows my mind because it's like she's been aging in For All Mankind.
Yeah.
And then you see how old she really is, and you're like, oh wait a minute, that's completely.
Yeah. To show you how how long ago season 4 was, I went back to watch the finale, and then I realized that her husband, who I should have known already, that's my bad, but her husband in the show For All Mankind is Andre's dad in Gen V, which had aired 2 seasons. So like, I had
Oh my God, really?
Yes. But like, season 4 came out before Gen V season 1 even came out. So like, I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're Andre's
We've
dad.
had 2 seasons of Gen V in between this break.
Yeah.
That's
But anyway,
crazy.
it is crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Danielle is not in this season. Maybe like a 1-2 episode kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if she's not there at all. I think Ed dies this season. Margot, again, I wouldn't be surprised if she dies this season
She
as
may
well.
die.
Yeah, she's also quite old. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is why, like, if she's dying of old age, what the hell is Ed still doing here?
Well,
I think that was my thinking too, is that he won't make it out of this one alive.
yeah, he wouldn't make it out of this season. I think that's it. If you have any questions for us, let us know and we'll discuss it.
So happy
during
they're
the
back.
season.
I just
I
have
am
to
happy
say
they're
that.
back.
I know it
Yeah.
sounds like we've shat a lot on it right now, but it's because we only expect
We're
greatness
just trying to wheel
out
it
of
back to
fam.
its glory days.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
expect greatness.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Like we're not indifferent, you know.
We care.
I feel like our complaints are coming from a place where we were really invested, and we just want to look at it, have that same feeling come back again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's wrap up there. See you guys later this week.
Yes.
Yeah. Check out Pete's channel as well for All Mankind coverage in case you don't already do that. Bye. See you next
Arrivederci.
week with Daniel Kaluuya.
Bye bye.